Silent heart threats don't announce themselves with a warning bell. They creep in quietly, especially after the age of 40, when many of us believe our health is already on an irreversible downward slope. Millions of people wake up each morning with hidden risks, arteries slowly narrowing, cholesterol quietly climbing, and blood pressure ticking upward. Yet they feel fine. And because they feel fine, they assume nothing can be done until a sudden heart attack or stroke shatters that illusion. But here's the truth. Heart experts from Harvard, Mayo Clinic, and the American Heart Association want everyone over 40 to understand, you are not powerless. The single biggest weapon to defend your heart isn't locked away in a pharmacy or a prescription bottle. It's right in your kitchen. The food you eat every day has the power to protect your arteries, lower your risk of disease, and even reverse damage that's already begun. In this series, we'll reveal 7 everyday foods supported by the latest research that can transform your heart health. These aren't exotic superfoods that require a trip to a specialty store. They're simple, affordable, and accessible to anyone. Today, we'll start with 2 of the most powerful, oats and fatty fish. Oats, the cholesterol-busting superfood. If you've ever thought of oatmeal as just a bland breakfast option, think again. Oats are one of the most scientifically validated foods for heart protection. What makes them so extraordinary? The secret lies in a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Think of beta-glucan as a natural sponge inside your digestive system. Instead of letting cholesterol float freely in your bloodstream and settle into artery walls, beta-glucan traps it in your gut and flushes it out before it ever becomes a problem. A 2023 Harvard Health study found that just 3 grams of beta-glucan daily, the amount in about 1 cup of cooked oats, can lower LDL or bad cholesterol by 5 to 7%. That might sound modest, but lowering LDL even by a few points significantly reduces your chances of heart attack and stroke over time. And oats don't stop there. According to the Mayo Clinic, oats also stabilize blood sugar, which is crucial because diabetes is one of the strongest risk factors for heart disease. When blood sugar swings wildly, it damages blood vessels and accelerates plaque buildup. By smoothing out those spikes, oats act as a steadying hand on your metabolism. Beyond fiber, oats contain unique antioxidants called avenanthramides. These compounds are powerful inflammation fighters. Since chronic inflammation is now recognized as a key driver of cardiovascular disease, oats deliver a double blow. They lower cholesterol and calm inflammation at the same time. A sweeping 2023 meta-analysis in Nutrients concluded that people who ate oats regularly cut their overall risk of cardiovascular disease by 14%. And a long-term cohort study following oat eaters for a decade revealed that they experienced 20% fewer heart-related events. So, how can you make oats part of your daily routine? It's simpler than you think. Overnight oats are one of the easiest solutions. Just combine rolled oats with almond milk, chia seeds, and berries, let it sit in the fridge, and by morning, you'll have a heart-boosting breakfast ready to go. Prefer something warm? Cook a pot of steel-cut oats on Sunday night and reheat portions during the week. Add fruit, nuts, or a drizzle of honey for flavor without processed sugar. The key is consistency. One bowl won't change your cholesterol overnight, but making oats a daily habit will steadily tip the odds in your favor. Fatty fish, omega-3 heroes for heart rhythm. If oats are the steady guardians of your arteries, fatty fish are the rhythm keepers of your heart. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, and tuna may look like simple dinner options, but inside, they're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, essential fats your body can't produce on its own. Omega-3s are like the oil that keeps your cardiovascular engine running smoothly. They lower triglycerides, prevent irregular heartbeats, and reduce inflammation. These aren't just nice-to-have benefits, they're life-saving. In 2024, the journal Circulation published research endorsed by the American Heart Association showing that eating just 2 servings of fatty fish per week can cut the risk of heart disease by 10%. And the benefits don't stop there. Omega-3s improve the flexibility of blood vessels, lowering blood pressure, and they help prevent the clots that trigger sudden heart attacks. A 2023 study showed that people with higher omega-3 intake had 21 to 34% lower mortality from coronary events. One of the most fascinating findings comes from the New England Journal of Medicine, which linked regular fish consumption to a 15 to 20% reduction in atrial fibrillation, a dangerous irregular heartbeat that becomes more common after age 50. Beyond the heart, omega-3s support brain health, reduce the risk of cognitive decline, and ease arthritis symptoms, all critical for staying active and independent in midlife. Of course, not everyone can afford fresh salmon every week, and that's okay. Canned sardines, packed in water or olive oil, are an affordable and convenient option. They can be tossed into salads, mashed onto whole grain toast, or blended into pasta dishes. Worried about mercury? Stick to lower mercury fish like sardines, anchovies, and wild-caught salmon. For vegetarians, algae-based omega-3 supplements provide EPA and DHA, the active forms your body needs. But always consult your doctor first, especially if you're taking blood thinners. The big picture is this: when you make fatty fish a regular part of your diet, you're investing in decades of healthier heart rhythms and stronger blood vessels. Berries, antioxidant shields for your arteries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries may look small, but they are nutritional giants when it comes to heart protection. The secret lies in polyphenols, powerful plant compounds that act as antioxidants. These compounds combat oxidative stress and inflammation, two processes that damage the lining of blood vessels and accelerate heart disease. A 2023 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that eating just 1 cup of berries daily lowered blood pressure by 4 to 6 millimeters of mercury and improved cholesterol levels. That's the equivalent of some first-line blood pressure medications, achieved not in a pharmacy, but in your fruit bowl. Berries are also rich in fiber, about 4 grams per cup, which helps with weight control, a key factor for middle-aged adults whose metabolism tends to slow down. Fiber also stabilizes blood sugar and keeps digestion moving smoothly. Even more compelling, long-term epidemiological data show that people who eat berries regularly have lower rates of cardiovascular mortality. In other words, these tiny fruits don't just make your arteries healthier, they help you live longer. Practical tip: don't worry about buying fresh berries year-round. Frozen berries retain nearly all their nutrients and are usually more affordable. Toss them into smoothies, yogurt, or oatmeal. Just avoid sugary jams and desserts that cancel out their benefits. Leafy greens, nature's blood pressure balancers. Spinach, kale, arugula, collard greens. These leafy greens may not look glamorous, but they are packed with nutrients your heart craves. They deliver potassium, nitrates, and magnesium, along with vitamins A, C, and K. Potassium is especially crucial because it helps balance sodium levels in your body. Most middle-aged adults consume far too much salt, leading to stiffened arteries and rising blood pressure. Potassium acts as a counterbalance, easing tension in blood vessel walls. The CDC reports that a high potassium diet can reduce stroke risk by 20%. And a 2020 study in Nutrients showed nitrate-rich greens lower systolic blood pressure by 5 to 10 millimeters of mercury. That's a meaningful drop for anyone at risk of hypertension. Leafy greens also contain folate, which helps metabolize homocysteine, an amino acid that, when elevated, damages arteries. Add antioxidants like lutein and vitamin C, and you have a cocktail of natural protectors working in harmony. Tip for home use: aim for 2 to 3 cups of leafy greens daily. If you find kale too tough, massage it with olive oil to soften the texture. Blend spinach into smoothies. It's virtually tasteless when combined with fruit. Nuts, tiny powerhouses for heart protection. Almonds, walnuts, pistachios, hazelnuts, the list goes on. Nuts may be small, but their impact on heart health is enormous. They are rich in unsaturated fats, plant sterols, fiber, and magnesium, all of which contribute to healthier arteries. A 2023 study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that eating just 1 ounce of nuts 5 times a week reduced the risk of heart disease by 28%. That's a huge payoff for something as simple as a handful of almonds. Walnuts stand out because they contain ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that reduces inflammation. Almonds, on the other hand, are loaded with vitamin E, which shields cells from oxidative damage. Nuts also have a surprising benefit. Despite being calorie-dense, they actually support weight control. Their combination of fiber and protein increases satiety, making you feel full and reducing the urge to snack on less healthy options. Practical tip: stick to 1 ounce a day, about a small handful. Choose unsalted nuts to avoid excess sodium and steer clear of candied varieties. If you have allergies, seeds like chia or flax can provide similar benefits. Olive oil, liquid gold for your arteries. Few foods are as celebrated in heart health research as extra virgin olive oil. A cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats and polyphenols, which reduce inflammation and improve cholesterol balance. A 2022 study in the European Heart Journal found that replacing butter or margarine with just 2 tablespoons of olive oil daily reduced stroke risk by 41%. Polyphenols in olive oil act as antioxidants, protecting blood vessels from oxidative damage. Oleic acid, its primary fat, helps raise HDL, the good cholesterol, while lowering LDL. Harvard Health also reports that olive oil improves endothelial function, reducing arterial stiffness, a common issue in middle age.
Tip: use 1 to 2 tablespoons daily. Drizzle it on salads, whole grain bread, or cooked vegetables. Choose cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil and store it in a dark bottle to preserve its polyphenols. Dark chocolate, a sweet boost for your heart. Yes, you read that right. Dark chocolate can be heart healthy, as long as it's at least 70% cocoa. The secret is flavonoids, which improve blood flow, lower blood pressure, and reduce inflammation. A 2023 meta-analysis in Nutrients found that eating 1 to 2 ounces of dark chocolate daily lowered blood pressure by 2 to 3 mmHg and reduced heart disease risk by 8%. Dark chocolate also improves insulin sensitivity, an important factor for preventing diabetes-related heart issues. And because it contains magnesium, it supports healthy heart rhythm. Tip: stick to 1 ounce per day. Avoid milk or white chocolate, which lack the heart-healthy compounds and are loaded with sugar.
So there you have it. 7 everyday foods that can transform your heart health after 40. From oats to dark chocolate, these aren't exotic supplements or miracle cures. They're simple, delicious choices backed by science. Together, they lower cholesterol, reduce inflammation, stabilize blood pressure, and keep your heart strong. But the real magic happens when you combine them into a consistent routine. A 2023 American Heart Association study found that people who followed a heart-healthy diet consistently reduced their risk of cardiovascular events by 35%. Small, steady changes truly add up. Bonus tip: make it a lifestyle. Here's a simple formula. Breakfast, oats with berries. Lunch, salad with leafy greens, olive oil, and a handful of nuts. Dinner, grilled salmon with steamed vegetables. Dessert, 1 square of dark chocolate. By planning meals this way, you're not just eating, you're actively protecting your heart every single day. And here's the most encouraging part. Harvard Health reports that daily healthy habits can cut heart disease risk by up to 50%. Imagine slashing your risk in half just by making better food choices.
Disclaimer: this video is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. Always consult your doctor before making significant dietary changes, especially if you have existing health conditions or are taking medication.